Welcome to A World with AI. Today, we're unpacking the absolutely wild story of how one of America's leading AI companies, a company deeply involved in national security, was almost overnight blacklisted by its own government. This is a story about a technology that changed the world, a clash of ideals, and a high-stakes power play that completely redrew the map of the AI industry.
And it all blew up with this statement. I mean, just listen to that language from the Secretary of War. That isn't a simple disagreement. That is a full-on declaration of war against a tech giant. So what on earth could have happened to provoke this?
Well, things escalated with unbelievable speed. On February 26th, Anthropic makes its ethical stance public. The very next day, the Pentagon hits them with an ultimatum. And then, not even 48 hours after this all started, the president gets involved, and the company gets branded a national security risk. That's a label usually saved for hostile foreign companies.
So, yeah, how did we get here? How does one of the country's top AI labs go from trusted partner to enemy of the state in 2 days? To answer that, we have to talk about a massive technological leap that changed everything in 2026. This is what it all boils down to. Something called the Agentic Pivot. It was a complete shift in what AI could do. We moved from an AI that just gives you answers to an AI that actually takes action.
And this difference is just everything. You see, the AI we all knew in 2024 was basically a superpowered assistant. It could write, it could make images, it could code when you asked it to, but by 2026, AI could do things for you. It could plan projects, manage tasks, and see complex jobs through from start to finish, all by itself.
And the secret sauce behind this was something called multi-agent frameworks. So instead of having one big AI model trying to do everything, you now had teams of specialized AI agents. You might have one that's an expert researcher, another that's a brilliant coder, and a third that acts like a project manager, keeping them all on track. They work together, passing tasks back and forth, just like a human team.
So how do all these different AIs talk to each other and, to the rest of the digital world? Well, two brand new protocols were the magic behind it. First, you have MCP, which you can think of like a universal USB port. It let an AI agent plug into pretty much any tool, any database, or any API out there. Then you had A2A, which was basically a universal translator, letting agents from different companies built on totally different systems work together seamlessly.
Now, as you can probably imagine, a technology this transformative wasn't just a cool new gadget. It was about to send a massive shockwave right through the global economy. The whole conversation changed from AI helping you do your job to AI being the one doing the job.
And the scale we're talking about is just mind-blowing. A report from Goldman Sachs put a number on it. They estimated that these new agentic AI systems could automate up to 300 million full-time jobs around the world. I mean, that's not just a change, that's a complete revolution in the labor market.
And this impact wasn't going to be felt equally everywhere. The IMF looked into it and found that advanced economies were way more exposed, with about 60% of their jobs at risk. Compare that to just 26% in low-income countries. This brought up some really serious questions about what this would do to global inequality. All of this, of course, sparked a massive debate among the people building the tech. On one side, you had Dario Amati, the CEO of Anthropic, who gave this incredibly stark warning. He called it a possible white-collar bloodbath. But on the complete other side of the argument, you had leaders like NVIDIA's CEO, Jensen Huang. He pointed to history, saying, hey, look, every time we've had a massive leap in productivity like this, it's actually ended up creating more jobs and whole new industries, not fewer. And that brings us right back to our main story. Because with AI now this powerful enough to remake economies and run incredibly complex operations, the fight between Anthropic and the Pentagon suddenly had sky-high stakes.
The whole thing really came down to two specific red lines that Anthropic simply refused to cross. Number one, they would not allow their AI Claude to be used for mass surveillance on American citizens. And number two, no fully autonomous weapons. A human being had to be in the loop and make that final, lethal decision.
And Anthropic was really clear about why. This wasn't just some abstract philosophical argument for them. They were making a safety claim, saying that the technology was just not reliable enough for something that critical. They argued that using it that way would put American soldiers and civilians in danger.
The Pentagon, however, saw things very, very differently. Their stance was absolute. For the sake of national security, they felt they needed total, unrestricted access to this technology for any lawful purpose, period. The idea that a private tech company could set military policy was a non-starter for them.
And that's when the whole thing just exploded.
The conflict went all the way to the top, with President Trump weighing in on social media. He accused the company of trying to strong-arm the government and immediately ordered every federal agency to stop using their tech. And just like that, the standoff was over.
But this is where the story takes another incredible twist, because as that door slammed shut hard on Anthropic, another one flew wide open, leading to this huge, sudden shakeup in the AI world.
Literally just hours, not days, hours, after the ban was announced, the Pentagon revealed it had already lined up a new partner, and it was Anthropic's #1 rival, OpenAI. It was an absolutely stunning pivot that just sent shockwaves everywhere.
And here is the craziest part of this entire story. OpenAI CEO Sam Altman comes out and announces that their deal with the Pentagon actually includes the exact same two principles Anthropic was just blacklisted for: a ban on mass domestic surveillance and a requirement for a human in the loop for lethal force.
So let's just look at the final scoreboard. For Anthropic, they're now labeled a supply chain risk, and their absolutely massive $380 billion IPO is dead in the water. For OpenAI, they're now the Pentagon's go-to AI partner with a massive new government contract, a total reversal of fortune.
This entire episode just forces us to confront this huge, fundamental question. As AI becomes this essential pillar of both economic and military power, who actually gets to decide the rules of the road? Is it the private companies that build this incredible technology, or is it the governments who need to use it? And there's no easy answer, is there? Was Anthropic right to make a stand, or was the government right to demand control in the name of national security? It's a tough one. I'd love to know what you all think, so definitely drop a comment below.
And that's our look at this incredible moment in AI history. If you found this useful, do me a favor and hit that like button, and maybe share it with a friend who'd find it interesting. And of course, to make sure you don't miss our next breakdown, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Thanks for watching.